Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Hot Takes with Derek and Jason. I'm Jason.
I'm Derek.
All right, man. You lead the way.
So basically, just want to, before we get started into this, basically want to just quick little thing here. So we did actually have a podcast on film kind of before we did.
It was
this
just
one.
a messy
It
podcast
was
on everything.
If you ever feel like looking it up, I'm not going to mention it.
I feel bad for you if you feel the need to look that up.
I really do feel bad if you do actually feel the need to do so. So I'm actually not going to directly say it here, but I may leave it like down in the link below. But I will state this. This will be on YouTube or Spotify, depending on where you are listening.
I think if they're listening, then they know where to find it.
I mean, well, that depends. Some rando, they don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe some guy wants a jog.
Well, make sure to give the positive stuff, likes, subscribes, whatever on the platform you're on.
But this is on YouTube. It's on
iTunes?
B&B Films. No, not on iTunes.
I want to get 5-star reviews.
You know what? Maybe
though.
I'll let you handle the iTunes.
I don't want to worry about it.
Okay, so it'll just be on YouTube and Spotify. On Spotify, it'll be under Bit by Brick. On YouTube, it will be under B&B Films, and it is Hot Takes, as we had stated before. So I just got to reiterate that this is our Hot Takes, and we are completely unoriginal, which is why it is called Hot Takes.
It's gonna be fun.
This will be fun. We do have a couple topics today, so sit back, enjoy, and hopefully we won't scare you off. So first topic: movies or TV that we watched this week.
I just been slamming through New Girl this week. I don't know if you've ever seen New Girl.
I've heard of it.
It's pretty good.
Really?
It's pretty good. Yeah, I'm on the season what 4 now.
Don't spoil anything, but what's it about?
It's about a girl who finds an ad on Craigslist for a roommate, and she decides to move in, and it turns out everyone else there are guys. So it's them finding their way in the world, and it's quite entertaining.
So you're not watching this ironically?
No, it's actually funny.
Oh, okay.
No, it's not ironic.
Because I feel like that plot could go down.
Now, what I did watch ironically was High School Musical, the show.
Oh, you watched it?
I did watch it.
I've seen the ads.
Yeah, that was a while ago, but I watched that while I was building the UCS Millennium Falcon.
Oh, wow.
It was very entertaining. I was surprised that it was. My sister, she's in production design, so she was just getting a kick out of their 2000s costumes because 2000s fashion is just abhorrent.
My roommate, he actually showed me, I think either right before my Christmas break, he showed me the bad lip reading that was presented by Disney of High School Musical, and I highly recommend it for anyone. It is an amazing experience.
Yes. That I think the High School Musical one.
Yeah,
from a couple years ago.
Yeah. The bad lip reading.
That one's so good.
The 25
I'm so glad they
one.
actually teamed up with the bad lip reading.
Oh yeah, it was.
That was so cool.
And it didn't feel like there was any it felt like bad lip reading was just doing their thing.
Exactly. Yeah,
highly recommend you guys. Not a sponsor. Go check out bad lip reading. Any of their stuff, and especially High School Musical is hilarious.
Yeah, it's a bit longer than some of their other videos, but it is
worth
a bit
longer, but it is definitely worth a watch. Yeah, I would agree. Was there anything else outside of?
Let's see. Last weekend I watched American Horror Story, specifically the Asylum season. That was really good.
I've heard good things from it. It's not really my cup of tea, but I've heard good things.
Yeah, it was really good. Really well structured. Very interesting. A lot of different twists. So
what the twists?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So not a whole lot lately?
No. Oh, and WandaVision, of course.
Yeah.
And slamming through that. I just came from watching
we would
that.
have a conversation about that, and we probably will next week. I have been very lacking in actually watching WandaVision.
Just heads up, this week was very heavy on reveals.
Oh, really?
You mean I will say no more. You mean the one that came out today?
Today of the recording. Okay.
Today, the 29th of January, 2021.
In the year of 2021.
I'm just saying the date because sometimes weird things happen on a day, and then you go back and it's like, what? That happened on that day? What?
Yeah.
Anyway.
As of right now, there are 4 episodes out, and I have yet to watch any. So I plan to go through those probably. So lately for me, it's been kind of interesting. I haven't watched a whole lot either. Me and Jason both, just heads up. We are at Cedarville University, where we are college students, and we have no life. So we watch as much as we can, but also at the same time, we also have to be at least
Like
somewhat
Mr.
responsible.
Incredible, we still got time.
We still got time. We just don't have as much time as we'd like. So
Amen.
it is a struggle. But I will say, my haul, we have been watching a couple films, and it's been very interesting, the choices that we've made. So we didn't. I'll start at least with what was probably the most recent. We didn't get all the way through it because it was kind of late. But me and my roommate Nathan, we actually started watching Despicable Me.
Oh,
For
man.
the first
Back
time in
when
like
Minions were
so
acceptable.
many years.
Back when Minions were tolerable.
Honestly, they were funny.
I know. I didn't hate Minions until the Minion
Vector
movie,
is
honestly.
amazing.
Vector is legendary. Oh my gosh, I saw this edit. It was the scene with Boba Fett from Mandalorian in the
Yeah.
Slave One chasing Vector in that one scene, and it was so funny.
Oh, that's great. Vector.
I guess
is-
that's a useless anecdote because I have no idea how to tell you where to find it. But
No.
now you know that
But you
that's
can-
a thing that
you can
exists.
picture that in
so
your head,
You
at
can picture it
least.
in your head.
Yeah.
It was pretty great.
It was pretty great when Nathan, he told me, he was like, Vector is honestly just us but evil. Because it's true. Like, we're nerds.
Vector.
We're both computer science majors.
I haven't watched that movie in a good while.
Honestly,
but it's
it holds
legendary.
up so well.
It's legendary.
The story is great. I was pretty happy with that.
Best movie that studio ever did. So that's for sure.
Another couple of films that I ended up watching recently was, well, for one, I watched the 2014 thriller Nonstop featuring Liam Neeson.
Oh,
Which, again,
I haven't seen that, but I've
A
seen
lot
the
of the
trailer
guys that I
several
watched it
times
with,
done
they
in
had
Lego.
not seen it before. And I had seen it. It's just been a while. It is a really good. It's very much like a whodunit in a scenario. Not exactly like. I don't know how to explain it. Basically, there's some guys on a plane, and he's like,
Snakes on a plane.
no, but there is a killer on the plane. It's just not a snake.
Okay, gotcha.
Instead, it is a snake.
What is it?
Kidding.
I'm a U.S. Air Marshal, and there is a killer on this plane. Isn't that the line?
Yeah, yes, it's basically that. He's a
Okay.
U.S. Air
There's like
Marshal, and some guy's like threatening to kill someone every 20 minutes,
there's
and he's got to
there's
figure out
one
who it
line
is.
from
It's
that.
really good. It sounds kind of generic. It is a really good movie. I highly recommend that. Another one recently, another like terrorist type film, was Speed,
Oh.
which again the guys really haven't watched, and that was a lot of fun watching that because it's very quotable. Also, the fact
Yeah.
that they had seen Sonic before, they could actually understand some of the references now.
A
Pop quiz, hot shot. But it's pretty good. Honestly, Keanu, like, he gets a bad rap in terms of some of his acting. Like, I know it's been like somewhat redeemed with like John Wick in like
Oh, yeah.
recent years, but like I know a lot of people like say like his acting is kind of stunted. Like, and there's not a whole lot of as much emotion there.
That's why he nails John Wick, though.
That is why he nails John Wick. But I actually do really think he does a great job in Speed. Like
Yeah.
him and the villain Dennis Hopper.
Okay.
Sandra Bullock, also like one of her like early roles,
Yeah.
did a really good job. Holds up. And the music's great. It's just like when they're on the like highway, it's going like dun 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 dun. It's just it's so 90s, but it's so great.
Be careful with music. We're gonna get copyright claimed.
I know, but I made it. Hey, that was like a second.
I know that's enough.
I know
That's
that-
enough.
that is enough.
You hum 2 notes and you're done.
Oh man, yeah. Just don't do the 2 notes from like Jaws. That's all of Jaws right there. So
Yeah.
So we are now. I think that pretty much wraps anything of like movies that I watched this week. Because again, like Jason, I haven't really watched a whole lot. It's
Yeah,
been
last movie I watched was The Game with
the game.
oh, who's in that? The guy from Ant-Man.
Paul Rudd.
No, the other guy, the old one.
Oh shoot.
Here we go.
I didn't want to say his name because I can't quite remember. Michael Douglas.
Michael Douglas. That's it.
Yeah, that's
Michael
it.
Douglas,
Michael
directed
Douglas.
by David Fincher.
Ooh,
Yeah.
it's a David Fincher film.
Yeah, my
When's this
sister
come
loves
out?
David Fincher. 97.
Oh,
It's pretty good.
Is he like? Does he have like a buzz cut and glasses in that one?
No.
Oh, what's it about?
Um,
Because there was a different like Michael
It's
Douglas
hard to
film I was
say what
thinking
it's
of.
about without spoiling anything.
Does it take
like-
place in L.A.?
No, I don't.
There might be a different
in
Michael
LA?
Douglas film I'm thinking of.
Is it in LA? I don't remember where it is. I thought it was in New York. It's in a city.
Okay.
Basically, well, I'll just describe the opening. So skip forward 30 seconds if you don't want to hear this. But basically,
Spoiler warning, you
it
have
starts off.
3,
It's his
2,
birthday,
1.
and he's sad because his birthday is sad. And
Okay.
so anyway, he goes and sees his
You
brother,
know,
and his
I'm
brother's like,
loving this vague
okay,
description.
it's his
of this
birthday,
movie.
and his brother is like, "Hey, I got you this present. It's some company. Go visit them." And he's like, "Okay." And so he goes to the office, and they're like, "Oh, you're gonna play the game?" And he's like, "What's the game?" And you're like, "That's what that's what you're gonna find out." And so then it's the whole movie's about him trying to figure out what the game is.
Oh, okay.
That's one way to put it.
And it's David Fincher.
David Fincher.
Okay,
It's great.
I could get behind David Fincher at least.
Yeah,
so.
it's an action thriller. It's pretty great.
Oh, okay.
Mystery.
Might have to check that out.
It was surprisingly it was good. I feel like if it came out to like there's a lot of twists and turns that I feel like if it came out today wouldn't work.
Yeah.
But it definitely works at the time. Same deal with like Sixth Sense. I feel like if Sixth Sense came out today, people would be like, "What are you kidding me?"
Honestly,
but like Sixth Sense holds up.
Yeah, it does.
You know what I mean?
It's been
It's
long
one of those
time
things.
since I've
It's one of those
watched
things
it,
where
though.
once it's been done, you can't do it again. I feel like that's what this movie is. It's like
Yeah,
it did what it wanted to do really well, and I feel like it's not something that could get touched again.
that's true.
But it was definitely well done.
Well,
Would recommend.
hopefully this next week this section will be a bit more filled out. Hoping to watch some more movies soon. But anyway, we are now moving on to what I would call the main point of the show here, which is hot takes.
Yeah.
So the whole point of the name. So basically, this stems from the idea that basically I just want to argue with Jason. Like,
wow.
That is my goal here. This is my objective with this podcast.
Wow, you just want to break up our friendship.
Pretty much. I want to test the limits of it.
You should add a glass shattering sound there. On
Oh yeah,
break up.
just right there. Oh yeah.
Yeah, right there.
So basically, how this is going to go is we are going to we're both going to pick a film that we feel is a hot take in terms of we love but everyone hates, or the other way around, and we shall discuss it with the other and see what unfolds.
All right.
So, do you got one in your back pocket for this?
I got one.
Okay, lay it on me.
All right. You
no
know what
hold back.
movie? Okay.
No film is
Okay, yeah,
barred
yeah.
from this.
Okay. First one that comes to my mind, one of my favorite movies, Speed Racer. Come on. That movie, I know that movie is pure eye candy, but it is the most beautiful eye candy, okay? That is
okay,
like
I want to talk about the
that is the one
Wachowskis
movie
for
I can immediately start that movie again. I could watch that movie nonstop for
I
a
will agree
week
with you.
straight.
I will agree with you. So, little backstory. This is made by the Wachowskis. Just the Wachowskis. The people behind The Matrix, if you're familiar with that.
Jupiter Rising,
Cloud
or
Atlas?
Ascending.
Cloud Atlas, too.
Yeah.
I try-
You're saying the good ones. I'm saying the bad
Oh,
ones.
I was going to say, I actually enjoyed Cloud Atlas. I will say,
Yeah. I've not seen Cloud Atlas.
It is
but I have
a
seen Jupiter
different kind of film, and it does, show different, beliefs, but it is a really interesting film to think about.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it.
V for Vendetta, that's a great one.
Oh, I still need to see that. That's in my backlog.
I love that one.
But anyway, so the Speed Racer, I actually remember as a kid, I was really into this movie. I had the Lego sets. I had not all of them, but I remember, I remember distinctly in my bedroom. I don't know. This is gonna be a great thing to just put in episode 1. I remember distinctly praying about getting this set for my birthday of the big Grand Prix Lego set.
Oh man.
I will admit that I do distinctly remember, and unfortunately, my prayers were not answered. God had a different plan in mind with that, so it was not meant to be. That's fine, But I had a couple of the Lego sets, and I enjoyed it. And I even had the video game on the Wii, and I loved it. It was unironically an actual great video game to play, actually, I thought. But the
I
movie
didn't even
itself,
watch it till about 3 years ago. I wanted to watch it when it came out. I loved the show.
Oh, you didn't see Speed
I didn't
Racer
see it when it came out.
Oh, okay.
I wasn't allowed to because there was some inappropriate hand gestures. Just the bird, for anyone who's wondering.
I was gonna say that movie is
That was
pretty.
It's
pretty
PG,
tame.
but I wasn't allowed to see it for
pretty
that,
tame.
which is okay. I was able to enjoy it as an adult still, and it's still
that
one
film
of my favorite movies. It was
last
amazing.
semester we watched it at the beginning of the semester.
I remember you telling me that. I was very mad you didn't invite me.
No one. I know. I didn't. I'm sorry. I didn't know. But none of the guys had seen it before, and it was great because just you can enjoy that film. You can't help but laugh. But you also got to appreciate the scope of the film. Everything looks fake, but I also don't think they were trying to hide it. It's a beautiful fake.
It
It looks like
works because they stylized it like the
Yes.
show. Like the split frames, like the
Oh my
the
gosh.
shout, like
Do you
the
remember-
non-existent depth of field.
Do you remember the end of that movie where literally
flying
there was like
camera,
there
like-
was literally like 20 spanning shots of
Yeah.
frames all on top of each
I
other.
love that with the
It's-
announcers.
yeah,
That's
it's
so funny. I love
uh,
that so much.
I can actually watch that movie and still very much enjoy it to this day, but there is some level of like B movie level mentality for me to watch that film. I have to.
I disagree. I think it's top tier. I think it's perfectly done.
You think it's perfectly
I think
done?
it's perfect.
Okay.
I would not change a thing about that. I don't think you could do it better.
You know,
I don't know. Did you ever watch the show?
I've seen clips.
Yeah. I mean, not that the show was like super goofy.
Yeah.
But to be like, it's an older show.
I don't
animated.
think anyone could probably do a Speed Racer movie better.
Yeah.
than that.
Yeah.
The Wachowskis, I'm very much happy with what we got. I'm just saying that like I very much also have to enjoy some parts of it unironically and some of it ironically.
Yeah.
But it is definitely a film worth watching, and
Yeah.
the racing in the movie is cool. Like the scenes of them racing is actually really awesome with like the
I
different,
love it.
It's honestly
Like
like
the cradled tracks and
Oh, dude.
the tight drifts.
honestly, it reminds me a lot when I was like a kid watching like Hot Wheels accelerators and stuff like that, and like seeing the tracks.
That was
from
my show.
And that was mine too.
But
But-
yeah, I love that movie.
It
so
was
I would
you know,
recommend.
honestly,
But this is what an argument.
yeah,
you were
I
supposed to
was
disagree with me.
expecting. You know, I mean, I said whatever unfolds.
I was gonna yell at you because I thought you were gonna be like, "Oh, well, it's kind of goofy," and I was gonna be like, "No, it's perfect," and then you didn't say anything.
No, honestly,
Wow.
I mean, but that's also the point of this.
I
you
guess
know?
I win.
We
I guess
did-
I win. It is a perfect movie. 10 out of 10.
I wouldn't say it's a perfect film, but I would say
One of the best films ever made.
I'm gonna move on from that statement. But I did want to.
Really, you don't want to argue with me about it? This is my hot take. This is all I got at the table.
I would not say it's a 10 out of 10 film. I'm sorry, it does not beat like the
Fine.
Prestige.
9.8.
I would give it like.
I
probably.
finally watched The Prestige over break.
Oh, I'm so
What a
glad.
movie.
That-
What a movie.
That is like in my top 3 right there.
Yeah.
Films. Christopher Nolan, great movie. But I was gonna say, I think the main actor who played Speed Racer, I think that was. He didn't have really many films, but I think that was probably his biggest one.
Oh, for sure.
Emil Hirsch. Because
Yeah.
I think
I
the
just
only
saw him
other
in something else.
I watched him in
weird.
Into the Wild,
Okay.
which was good, and he was also in Lone Survivor.
I've not seen either of those.
He's kind of had a career that's kind of like Taylor. Is it Taylor Kirch?
I have no idea who you're talking about.
The guy who played John Carter.
Oh, I don't
The
know
movie
his name.
John Carter.
Yeah, I know the movie. I don't.
He was
know
in
it.
Battleship, the movie.
I did not see that either. I saw John Carter. I did not see Battleship, but neither of those were stellar.
You didn't
But-
like John Carter?
I like John Carter. It just didn't quite.
I mean, I don't think it's a great film, but I
No.
think it's a
I mean,
decent
it's,
film.
It's fun. I wouldn't watch
Yeah.
it again though. It was too long
Okay,
for
that's fair.
for all it did.
It had potential,
and it was.
It had a lot
It
of
was. I felt like it
potential.
was like overly complicated. But yeah, it was an interesting idea. Willem
Okay.
Dafoe was great. You know.
Mm.
So.
Well, I'm going to probably pull out. There's a lot of films that I definitely think are hot takes.
All right, let's
for
start
me.
some beef here.
I want to get some.
We
beef
got to
going.
shatter this friendship. By the end of this podcast, the goal is to not be friends anymore.
You know, I wish I had like my movie rankings on my phone right here,
Wow.
but I'm just gonna have to pull, I guess, out of my back pocket.
You should have
here.
a Google site like I do.
You
Go
know-
to what is it? Google sites.google.com/top10 movies, and you can see all of my favorite movies
Did
that
you
I've
just
watched
plug
since this summer.
yourself?
I did plug myself.
Did you plug yourself in our
Yeah.
podcast?
Yeah, I did.
Wow. Well, I use Excel, so there is no.
Google
There-
sites for the win.
Yeah, that's. I guess if you see it that way.
Yeah.
But
I don't entirely agree with the list, but it's accurate enough. So
Mhm. I would say personally for me,
to be clear,
Hot-
it's a Google sheet where I rate different aspects of the movies and it
okay,
adds it
so
all up.
Here's
But-
my hot take
okay.
that I was discussing with a friend earlier this week that I feel like this could lead to some friendships getting broken right here.
Yes. All right. Give me
so
the
my
tea.
opinion, I want to state this out the gate. The film that I'm talking about is Up.
Oh gosh, I'm very passionate about that movie.
I know, and so I figured this was a good one. I want to state the opening of that film is some of Pixar's best work, period.
Yes. Go on.
You know, I would love if we did have a video format for this, because then everyone could see that you're giving me a death stare right now.
I am. I'm very passionate about this movie.
The rest
I'm
of
very
the film
passionate about Pixar
is,
films,
for me,
especially Up.
is somewhere between on the lower, like third, like in terms of like let me try and describe it. It's either a middle tier Pixar film for me, or it's on the upper third, but it's at the bottom of the upper third. I just feel like there's a lot of better Pixar films outside of that beginning. I love Carl as a character. I think Carl is a perfect character, but I think as a film, I think it's kind of just, it's good. I enjoy it, but I got problems with that film.
See, okay, I'm glad you said at least upper third. Okay, I can be around that.
Like around number 10 position.
Let's be clear. Like, what kind of movies are we talking about above it? Like, what you got?
I got
Toy Story, Ratatouille.
I would say Ratatouille for sure. Incredibles, Soul, Inside Out.
Okay.
Haven't seen it yet, but probably Coco.
You haven't seen Coco?
I know. I need to.
And you're just assuming it's going to be better than Up?
I've heard good things from Coco.
Wow. Okay.
But I would also probably put up there as well, like above it. Probably Toy Story 1 and 2. Not 3 or 4. 3 or 4 are not. Up is better than that.
Yeah.
So like I said, I would probably put it
like
around like 10. I'd also probably put Cars above Up as well.
Really? What about Finding Nemo?
I would say similar positioning for me.
Really? Mm-hmm. Oh, Finding Nemo is my jam, bro.
I love Finding. No, it's not. I love Pixar.
I know it's a tough call
because you're gonna upset
Pixar
someone
is amazing.
When you start having to
Dinosaur.
put off stuff like Up and Finding Nemo. Like any other company, Up is an amazing film. But no offense, I love WALL-E and I love some of the Toy Stories and Incredibles and Ratatouille.
You like
and
WALL-E better than Up?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
That's a hot take.
Yes.
That's a hot take.
I don't think that's much.
I think WALL-E's a great film, but WALL-E is more.
Think WALL-E is
my
about
position
a
on
perfect
WALL-E is closer to your position on Up.
What about those first 30 minutes?
That's amazing. I'm like basically the same thing. The first 30 minutes, flawless.
Wait, so the rest of the film is not? Are we transitioning to a different hot take here?
Maybe it's just a Pixar
What about the
hot
rest
take.
of the film, man?
Okay, let's go back to Up. Though.
Okay, fine. We'll go back to Up.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, let's go back to Up. That was the one that I pointed out. So
yeah, okay. We can agree that the opening is beautiful. And Carl, immaculate.
He is honestly okay.
Writing.
So like at this point, like I'm 20 years old. I'm almost 21. As I get older, like I first saw Up as a kid. Didn't have as much of a connection with it as some other people did, but I still really enjoyed it. As time goes on, I appreciate it more for Carl. As the character that he is. Because I honestly, I'm understanding more of that first 10 minutes more and more.
Yeah. What about the rest of the movie? Doug? Russell?
Okay.
Mutz?
Do you really want to hear my opinion on these characters?
I'm not so sure I do. What about Kevin? Kevin's my boy.
Okay, Kevin was a good... I liked the...
Or my girl, I guess.
Okay, so since I said that, let me state my opinions with this, okay? So, and you can talk with me on this, but let me state where I stand with that. Mutz is a traditional bad guy. He's there for the point of being the bad guy, who is his hero that then tragically tries to like kill him. I mean, Mutz does represent a lot of like Carl in a way. But like also Mutz is a real like he's two-dimensional in a lot of ways for me personally. I found the whole idea of the whole plot, the whole like his like how he got down to like South America and like his whole journey as a character. I found that more interesting than the character himself when we met him. Cuz it was like obvious when we met him like, "Oh yeah, this guy's the bad guy." Like that he is the bad guy. The moment that he like you know that he's still alive in South America, he is the bad guy. And I just didn't think that paid off real well for me personally. I did like the dogs. Like I love Doug. And I also loved like the other dogs in general. I loved as ridiculous as it is, I love that they have planes that they can fly and shoot. Like that's hilarious.
The dog bone triggers.
The dog bone triggers. It's great.
Great.
I love Doug. Doug also though he landed more like in the comedic relief area than actually like striking anything with me. Like when I go to a film, I can enjoy it, but I also like to think a lot on film. And I know Pixar can do that. So when I don't see them do it quite as much, it doesn't go for what personally I'm looking for as much. Like Doug was a good character, but I also didn't get a whole lot past out of him out of like comedic relief. It was kind of like Fear from Inside Out. I love the character, but like I also didn't really connect with the character as much. Like I don't know.
That's fair. The other three characters in Inside Out, I didn't. They didn't quite do much except for
anger.
Well, I mean, as far as the story. They were just kind of there for progressing it. They were
Oh,
just
I
kind
will
of
say you could probably take out
motivators.
fear and disgust, but you needed anger.
You need
in
it.
it.
Okay, yeah, you do need anger.
So
But that's
two-
that's fair.
yeah.
That's fair.
I was gonna say if you were gonna,
yeah.
especially for the moments when they're in the dad's head.
Yes. Okay. Yes.
But that's for a conversation for another day.
Yes.
But like along with that, like so Doug, I mean he's all right character. Mutz is a generic villain. I did like how Kevin was in the film. I did like the story behind that, like being the reason why they're going down there to South America. But I don't know. I liked Kevin. I really don't have anything bad to say about that. There's just other Pixar movies that I've enjoyed plot lines more so in that situation. But I thought Kevin was good, and I liked the environment of South America and seeing that in the falls. Honestly, I thought it was a great looking movie. It's a very beautiful movie, especially when he's like his house is rising up out of the city with the balloons. It's great. Then there's Russell. I don't hate Russell. I want that to be said. But Russell, for me personally, I was kind of like Carl for a lot of the movie. I understand why Russell's there. I understand what he does for Carl's character. I understand what he does. It's to show him really truly what he cares about. I do get that. But I honestly cared more about seeing Carl depressed and just like realizing it himself, more about like the situation. I understand why Russell's there, and I do like him as a character. I just don't love him as a character. Again, this is one of the better Pixar films, but there's not as great of things for me in it as other people.
Well, guys, I guess this is the last episode because this friendship is officially over. Wow, that's a lot for me to take in.
I know.
Dang.
I know.
Wow.
But that's the whole point of this, you know?
I mean,
Anything did I say?
Okay,
Do you agree
I'll
with?
give you Mutz is pretty flat once he shows up, but that's because his character arc is done at that point.
Yeah,
that's the whole point. Is his character arc is done at that point because at that point he is there to represent what Carl thinks his life should look like.
Yeah.
So I mean, you did mention like that's what the point of those
I
characters there
recognize
is.
it.
Carl's
I'm just saying
Carl's
it
journey.
could be done better.
Yeah. Okay. So here's one thing is while yes, Russell, I would like Russell, like a lot of those characters are very comedic. It's a kids movie. Okay. This is not is not Marriage Story. This is
But
Up,
I just watched
okay?
Soul over break, and this is from the same company.
That's true. But Soul, granted, it has some goofy parts too. Come on.
But that isn't. It's a. I'm just saying.
And it also doesn't have any like straight comic relief.
I'm not
characters.
speaking
So that's
on the
fair.
quality of the film. It's a hot take on my personal opinion of how I feel about the film.
Well, what am I supposed to say? I can't argue against your personal opinion.
I mean, that's true.
I think you're
but-
objectively wrong, though.
But I can also have a preference compared to other. Again,
That's
it's
fair.
one of the better Pixar films.
Yeah,
There's just a lot of perfect Pixar films. Where would you have it ranked? I want to know kind of like where you stand on that.
Personally, Up and Incredibles are my two favorite Pixar films.
Whoa. Okay.
Which one is my favorite? I haven't decided yet because they both are very different.
I imagine that Up will go up in my rank. It will go up in my rankings as time goes on. I know, dad joke. As time goes on, just because again, I feel like I'm gonna relate more and more to Carl. Like I feel like that will, like probably honestly, the moment that like I have kids, and I watch them with my kids, I feel like honestly at that point I'll be able to probably like see the more connection between Russell and Carl, just because I can't quite connect there as much as I want to. I want to enjoy the film as much as you do. It's just there are other films I enjoy more from Pixar. Pixar is a great company, and I love them for everything they do. And I was honestly nervous lately about their quality until Soul came out.
That's true. Yeah, they definitely fell off for a while there. But I think one thing for me is the soundtrack. The composer,
Okay,
I can
the
never
sound-
pronounce his last name.
The sound
Michael
is amazing. I'll admit that.
Giacchino, I think is how you pronounce it. I don't know. I've looked it up 1,000 times and I keep forgetting. He's like my favorite composer, though. That's another hot take. But I love it. I love his music. I mean, a lot of people like him. I just don't know if he's their favorite. But I love his soundtracks. He did Incredibles and he did Up. He's done other Pixar. He did Inside Out.
Did you do Ratatouille?
Yes, he did Ratatouille.
I was gonna say,
Yeah.
because I thought, yeah. I was
So-
gonna say, sound is amazing. I cannot
I think that's
go
one
against
thing that
at
does
all.
it for me is the soundtrack for Up is second to none. Like it is flawless.
I will say the sound is better in Incredibles, but that's just me.
That's the same guy.
I know.
Just saying.
But he did it better.
It's a different tone, but yes. Incredibles is also flawless. I will say that.
I have
Man.
nothing bad to say about Incredibles.
Just, you just hear a couple notes and it just teleports you straight to that movie.
Man, it is.
Oh man.
But can we just
the
say
trumpets?
that
the
Incredibles 2 is a terrible sequel. It's a terrible movie.
Yes, I do not like Incredibles 2.
Do you? Okay, where do you rank it in the bottom part of like? Because personally, it's
Yeah.
like Good Dinosaur, Incredibles 2. I love
really.
them because
I haven't. Okay, to be fair, I have not watched it since it came out. I cannot bring myself to watch it since it came out.
that I think should say a lot though. The middle part of that movie is great.
Yeah, I love the Jack Jack part is great.
They
ruined.
ruined.
Yeah, the family aspect is great. I did not like the villain or the whole plot with the villain.
Also,
It did not work
Underminer
for me.
is
Underminer was
underwhelming.
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 I'm gonna be honest. I did not want when that movie first came out. I wanted them to pick up at Underminer when the first one came out when I was 4. It's been 15 years. I don't care about Underminer anymore. I want to get to 10 years later. Supervillains are back on the rise. Superheroes are back on the rise. Give me a new world.
I really
do something
wish-
completely
yeah.
different.
I-
I would have loved that.
I wished if we had a time jump.
Yeah, I would have loved that.
At least, okay.
I want to
a
see.
time jump.
I want to see Mr. Incredible and Mrs. Incredible as grandparents. That's what I'm saying.
Ooh. Honestly, okay.
Violet and actually probably shouldn't be Tony Rodinger, but
be kind of funny.
Tony Rodinger.
Tony Rodinger.
But
No.
I think it could
Honestly,
be.
I agree with the time jump idea, but personally, I would have gone for probably like Jack, kind of like being around.
Yeah, that's
like,
the one thing is like I don't really know what you do with Jack because
I feel like honestly, you could go slightly dark with Incredibles and like him having to like. I'm not saying like New Mutants level, but like
did you see that?
I like bits of it.
Okay. I feel so bad for that movie. That's what a story. We'll have to talk about that later.
Yeah,
I'll have to
another
watch it.
time for
Yeah.
sure. But like Jack, I would have preferred. I would have preferred if Jack had been like if we had done a time jump, like probably him around like Dash's age probably.
Yeah.
Like if we had done like that amount of a time jump.
I don't really know.
A 5 year.
I don't really know where you go with that because the fun with Incredibles is the whole family dynamic.
Yeah.
And so having the small child that can do all these things, like that's an interesting concept that also wasn't really fully explored, which is one thing Incredibles 2 did really well, is take that in a whole new direction. Same way that the Jack Attack short did. I don't know if you've seen that.
I have
because
seen it, yeah.
that added a whole new dynamic to the movie that you didn't get in the first one.
Honestly,
and I do
it would've
really
been
enjoy
great
that.
if they included that in the movie.
Yeah,
but,
that was the other thing though, is I feel like a lot of the goofs and gaffes that we got were done in Jack Attack. So I was like, I mean, we've seen the laser eye thing, the floating through walls thing, the I can't control him because he can do all these things and I don't know how to handle any of them.
But also, it was
although
great.
Auntie Edna was amazing.
That was
oh
great.
my goodness,
That
I
was
want
great.
Edna to be in my own. Edna's the best.
Where are we at on time currently? 'Cause,
32.
Oh wow, we only
subtract
got
like
through.
2 minutes.
You know what?
goofed around for a while.
Yeah, that's probably a good place to stop.
But yeah,
then.
but yeah, all right. Well, we've made some progress. Our friendship is definitely damaged.
It's
I don't
damaged.
appreciate your disdain for Russell. Russell is my boy. Kevin is my boy. Charles Muntz was my hero before he betrayed me. And
are you just Carl?
yeah, I'm just Carl.
Are you Carl? Okay.
Yeah,
see.
I got the
I
Ellie
do
patch and
hope-
everything.
I do hope that I at least expressed to you that like some of like why I'm where I'm at. Not just
Yeah,
saying
yeah.
like it's an all right film. Like I appreciate.
Yeah, you
like,
thought through
at the-
through your opinion, so I can
My TLDR with the film is it's a great film. It's
Yeah.
just there's better films for me out there
Yeah.
for Pixar.
And I mean, I can accept that. I know that parts of the reason that
It's
I
not
love
like
Up
I
are more
said-
personal than
it's not-
objective.
It's
so
not like I
that's
said
fine.
Cars 3 is better than Up. It's not like I said
Okay, then that would be heresy. Okay, that is punishable by death.
which I would like to say it is not. I want to talk about that someday, Cars 3.
Yeah.
Just because that was interesting leading up to the release of that movie for me. at
I
least.
don't imagine there's many hot takes with that for us.
I don't know. You know,
What's
you
the general
might be-
consensus on that movie?
That's might be why it might be a great theme for hot takes next week. Who
Next
knows?
time, make
Who
sure you
knows?
tune back in.
I
Next
can
time.
almost guarantee at least one hot take a week will probably be Pixar.
Yeah, I'm a Pixar junkie.
I am
Like,
too. I am
Man,
too.
what a studio.
Honestly, it's got
Yeah.
an interesting history.
Yeah, it's
Well,
got history.
hopefully you guys enjoyed that. We also have another podcast on a different channel that I'm now going to be plugging. I would just like to be stating that. It is called ABS Addicts. We discuss our love for Lego and other plastic items over there. So
Plastic is good.
Plastic is always good.
I'm
Yes.
sorry if I just.
This is the moment they
offended
all
anyone
left.
with
You know,
whispering.
I'm plugging. You're creeping
Yeah.
them out.
Yeah,
They're
I
just
shouldn't have done that. This isn't ASMR.
Yeah. But if you want to check it out, it's on same thing on Spotify at Bit by Brick. You can find the ABS Addicts, and you can also find it on the Bit by Brick YouTube channel as well. We will see you guys next week for some more
Well,
hot takes.
We won't see you, but you'll hear us.
You'll hear our amazing.
You'll hear us next
magnificent
time
voices.
on what's this thing called?
This is Hot Takes.
You'll hear us next time on
From-
Hot Takes. This has been Derek and Jason signing off.
See ya.